Sometime long ago, Uncle Terry was fortunate enough to draw a coveted Iowa bow tag. After some valuable reconnaissance by my cousin Jared and Dad Mark, will Uncle Terry have what it takes to harvest this beautiful Midwestern buck? I'm Taylor Land, and this is a Throwback Thursday edition of DoD TV.
This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
I can't believe it. Check this out. Late again. Man, if I don't see to it that Mark starts going to bed on time at night, we'll never get to our tree on time in the morning. It must have taken me at least 45 minutes to wake him this morning. Tomorrow, I'm just going to go without him and let him oversleep. We'll never kill another deer out of a tree stand if we don't get there on time. I'll see if I can edge up a little closer here. That buck just seems to be enthralled with a doe. I just know he's tending a hot doe, but I'll try to play on his curiosity a bit, or maybe his domineering nature, and see if he's receptive to a little calling. The wind is right.
Nice encounter on the way in. As usual, I'm running a little late this morning. There was deer in this field, and there's beans in there, and there's biologic planted just off to the side of it. And he's tending a doe, and he just will absolutely not leave her because he's glued to her. Even though he was looking and he was inquisitive of the calling, he just won't leave her to come to the calling.
A comfortable, rock-solid API versus hunting from the ground. It makes a big difference. The outcome might have been different had we just been able to climb into those APIs.
That's always nice. You can play with a couple bucks, but boy, you're not gonna fool a doe. She saw us right here. We're out in the middle, wide open lane, grassy lane. I'm trying to get to a stand. I don't know if I'll ever make it. Well, I'm back at it. Because I was running a little late this morning, I thought I'd make up for it and get to the stand a little early this evening. I had an encounter with a beautiful deer this morning, and I tried grunting and rattling, trying to get him to respond to some calling, and I couldn't get him in. But come to find out, when we got back, Jared, our nephew, had done some filming for us and watched a certain spot, this spot right here, as a matter of fact, and filmed a beautiful, really nice big buck. It looked like he was a 10-point. He's got he's got a G2 broke off on one side, which would make him a 9, but he's a gorgeous deer, and he was on this field for about 20 minutes this morning. So came in here this evening early and hoping he'll revisit this field. So see what happens.
That old moon is already on the rise. That's a good sign. Maybe they'll move early this evening. I wonder, if you're late getting your stand in the morning, but climb up early that same afternoon, does that kind of make up for it? Well, I certainly hope so. We'll see. Brother Mark is the mad scientist when it comes to creating natural funnels and inside corners for deer to become more comfortable traveling through. I know a lot of thought and preparation has went into all of the plantings and stand locations. He feels strongly about this spot. I'll rely heavily on his gut instincts. He's had a good look at the same deer that Jared saw this morning. Could that be him? Sure enough, he's got that broken G2. That's gotta be him. What are the odds of this? I just hope he comes this way.
He might come up that edge. He's coming through. He's coming up the corn right here. He's coming in. There's a dog right here. He's right behind me. Nice deer, nice deer. He just ran over the hill. Oh, I think I hit him fairly decent. I tucked it low, but I hit him pretty good. He just ran off the hill there. I'm gonna have to give him a little bit of time. Thank goodness for my nephew Jared, who sat in a blind and filmed that deer this morning. And he told us where he came out at. Deer came out in the exact same spot where Jared had filmed him this morning. Jared's got quite a bit of footage of him, and he said, you guys ought to try that spot if the wind's right for this evening. And doggone, we came in, it worked out great. Thank you, Jared. Pick up right where I left off. You know, I felt like I hit him fairly decent yesterday evening, but I was back a little bit low, and you know, the luxury that we have is we get to examine that hit over and over because it's on film, obviously. I saw him go over the hill and into this block of timber, but I wasn't real sure, and it was nice and cool last night, but I elected to leave him go overnight. I'm gonna see if I can't find him.
Well, an absolute glorious morning. The sun came out, and it turned out just beautiful. A happy, happy ending, I promise you. It's such a privilege to hunt an Iowa Midwestern giant like this one. I'm gonna guess this deer to field dress 225 to 230, maybe 40 pounds. He's just a giant. And I can't be grateful enough for the Conservation Department, Iowa DNR, to give non-residents a privilege to hunt. If you get drawn or fortunate enough to get drawn, it's a real treat. But I'll tell you, there was a lot went into this. A lot of people were involved. And it started out, a real good friend of ours, Dave Reisner, came down and filmed this buck from a distance. First week in October, he filmed him, as a matter of fact. And we said, man, oh man, he is a dandy. And I think Mark had saw this deer in July in Velvet, near that same general vicinity, same spot. And then lo and behold, our nephew Jared, he came up and filmed yesterday and got some footage of this deer, quite a bit of footage actually. And he said, if you guys get a chance, you get the right wind, you ought to consider hunting that spot, because he felt awfully comfortable there. And lo and behold, we see this guy pop out. First of all, there was a 1.5-year-old buck that came out earlier in the evening, and he fed there in the cut corn for a little while, and I thought, well, maybe we'll see him again. You know, it might work out for us. And sure enough, he came out, but he got into that standing corn. He cut across the road and he went into the standing corn, and I thought, doggone, we may not get a better look at him. And then bang, wasn't long, here he come. He came right up this lane, dog and a doe, had his nose up in the air, and out he popped at 20 yards, and it's just right where you like to have him. And thank goodness, a Hoyt Havoc Tech, a new bow that Hoyt came out with this year. I was fortunate enough to be shooting it and able to get a decent shot on him and recover him this morning, and I just simply can't be happier. All I can say is great day, great feeling. Doesn't happen to me often.
I might say that it was a happy, happy ending for more reasons than just the obvious. There is another fantastic story within the story. Our nephew Jared elected to assume the same position from earlier that morning in the box blind in order to attempt first to conceal his movement and foremost to film the evening's hunt from a distance with the remote possibility of capturing it all on tape from another angle. Something we have never attempted before in Drury Outdoors history. Certainly not with white-tailed deer anyway. Well, Mark and Jared both felt confident that we could get another look at that buck after seeing him there this morning. It's kind of like roosting a turkey, or putting him to bed, so to speak. Both had a strong hunch that he might show himself. It just so happened that Jared's view became vitally important regarding the point of impact as well as recovery of the deer. Thanks to both Mark and Jared, a little luck came our way, and I was the lucky recipient of all their efforts. There's nothing quite like being spoon-fed. Thanks, guys.
Every hunt starts with a game plan, like knowing when and where to strike. So get DeerCast and get ahead of your game.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Mossy Oak.